The Lighthouse is an absolutely psychotic film, and has left me guessing what the fuck it is actually about since the day that I first witnessed it. I have witnessed it multiple times since then, and I'm still not fully sure on anything that occurs during the film. However, I wanted to talk to you guys about it today because it is one of my favorite films of all time, and is a great piece of surrealist cinema from Robert Eggers. So, this film opens on the shot of a dick, and by a dick, I mean a phallic building, and by a phallic building, I mean a lighthouse. And the lighthouse is a tall building with— wait, that's not what we're supposed to be talking. I'm sorry, I apologize. Back to the film. So basically, Robert Pattinson arrives to this island that is completely isolated from any other civilization or people, and he arrives to Willem Dafoe, a real fucking asshole who does not want to have any type of positive vibes coming from his body in any way, shape, or form. Initially, what it seems like is the old man's just a bit crazy, and he's a little obsessed with his light at the top of this lighthouse. Robert Pattinson has a background that he doesn't really want to share, and he continues being off-put by Willem Dafoe. And I would be too, if I'm being honest with you, because the man seems absolutely insane in this film. However, as time goes on, he continues to get menial tasks from our good friend Willem Dafoe. For example, he takes an entire barrel of oil, or multiple barrels of oil, up to the tippity top of the lighthouse, and then Willem Dafoe's like, fuck you, buddy, you gotta take it all back down now, and you didn't need to do any of that. You could have just used the, oil canister fucking thingy, which is really fucked up, because with this tiny-ass lighthouse, there's no way, shape, or form that it took him this long to find out that Robert Pattinson was doing this in this way. Robert Pattinson is increasingly just not fucking with it, and he's also starting to get plagued by various terrible visions. However, he then finds a seagull. This seagull starts fucking with him. He's fucking with him quite a bit, to be honest with you, and I think that this seagull was probably a person that came back to life to haunt this motherfucker. So, Willem Dafoe sees that he's upset with this seagull, and he says, hey man, you better never kill a gull. And Robert Pattinson's like, why, man? And Willem Dafoe says, because it's bad luck. And so, therefore, Robert Pattinson understands that he should not kill the seagull. However, moments later, he bashes the seagull against a rock multiple times until it's painting the fucking ground. I really don't know if he was just trying to get a bucket of paint or what the fuck was happening here, but he really went the fuck to town on that seagull for no reason in any way, shape, or form once again. So, Willem Dafoe apparently sees this, but keeps it on the low because he's a real asshole and he likes to be just very secretive with his assholishness. So, what happens from here is where it starts to get really strange. Essentially, Robert Pattinson realizes that it's time to leave. However, he doesn't end up leaving and getting on the boat because there's a big storm that comes in. During this storm, they start to relate to each other a little more and begin to understand each other. They have a lot of fun because Willem Dafoe begins getting Robert Pattinson to drink, even though Robert Pattinson is very stern about not drinking. Although it only takes about 2 days before he says fuck it and starts chugging everything in the house. And as the storm rolls in, they remain stuck in the storm, and the storm drags on for not just a couple hours, not a couple days, but apparently a couple weeks. So they're stranded there, just the two of them on a lone island with a limited amount of food. They eat everything on the fucking island. They can't go out and fish because the storm is way too harsh, and so they drink as much as they possibly can, getting all of their calories from nothing but ethanol somehow. During this period, we get a lot more bonding moments between the two men. Robert Pattinson opens up that he killed his boss previously, and this is just overlooked as spilling your beans, which Willem Dafoe is not exactly happy about. Then we get some more mind-bending fucking drama. For example, we have Willem Dafoe being told that his lobster is shit by Robert Pattinson, and Willem Dafoe goes on an absolute fucking hissy fit, swearing to the gods that he must love his goddamn lobster. Honestly, he was so convincing. I believe him. I think he's probably a pretty good goddamn cook. Then they go out to try to go lobster fishing from the lobster traps. When Robert Pattinson pulls up the lobster trap, he finds a severed head, however. And again, this is part of the terrible things that he keeps seeing. He also fucks a mermaid, and it's very, very, very graphic, and has a giant mermaid pussy. But don't let this distract you from the fact that these two men are also completely beefing. Robert Pattinson absolutely wants to go up into the light because Willem Dafoe's a fucking light hog and goes up into there every single night and jacks off, at one point coming on Robert Pattinson through the cracks of the roof. We also get a ton of weird sexual shit. For example, Robert Pattinson, again, fucking the mermaid or jacking off to a little mermaid sculpture he finds. Then we also have Willem Dafoe, who strips naked every night and jacks off into the light. We also get a lot of tentacle porn, and by tentacle porn, I just mean tentacles in the light. Apparently, the light has some tentacle shit up there, and nobody needs to know about it according to Willem Dafoe, except for him. Then we get to the weird climax of the film, where there's some weird sexual tension between Robert Pattinson and Willem Dafoe. However, the men get to fighting, because Willem Dafoe refuses to continue to let Robert Pattinson up into the lighthouse. Not the lighthouse, rather the light. Then we get some literal fisticuffs until Robert Pattinson is on top of Willem Dafoe, as he sees Willem Dafoe as a mermaid and then as the real Winslow, who was the boss that he killed and is the person's identity that he took. We also then get one of the strangest things that I have ever seen. We get Robert Pattinson putting a collar onto Willem Dafoe and taking him out to the goddamn ditch to throw him in. I mean, it was really weird to see, and he kept calling him an old dog. And after Willem Dafoe is officially buried alive, we finally get the final scene of the film, which is Robert Pattinson going up into the light, opening up the hatch, looking into the light, and screaming maniacally as everything gets entirely distorted. He then is thrown back from a large flash of explosion down the steps and to his death, just fucking wrecking him. And we then see that we don't really know what the scene is, but it looks like Robert Pattinson getting his guts eaten out by some fucking crows, similar to that Prometheus, I believe, who gets his eyes stabbed out by pigeons or whatever, ravens or whatever the fuck every day. There was also an image earlier that I forgot to kind of mention, where Willem Dafoe is shown as Proteus, and then there's the mermaid there and some shit. It's really interesting. So that's really the movie of The Lighthouse. I really don't know how to describe this movie, but I gave it my best shot. Overall, what I do feel like it is a kind of character analysis of an individual who has lost his mind due to isolation and previous violent tendencies, probably that were thrown in there from drinking. And I think that this was a really good study of identity and how identities can begin to get blurred, and how things such as the sexual nature of masculinity and things along those lines can lead for some really weird tension and heated moments between two individuals. I also think it talks a lot about what makes us hate each other and what makes us love each other, and I think it's a really fascinating film that deserves more analysis and attention, and I will be doing a film analysis of this film at some point. I just have to get around to watching it one more time. I've already watched it 3 times, but I want to have it fresh in my mind for a full analysis. So I will definitely get around to that, as well as get around to analyzing things like Eraserhead after a second watch through and some other films like that, so that way I can bring to you guys my general takes and analysis, because I think it's pretty fun to look at either the philosophy or just break down certain movies or just try to describe them to you in some interesting or entertaining ways. So let me know what you guys thought of this. This is my first time trying a idea like this, so definitely let me know in the comments below if you enjoyed this description of The Lighthouse. If there's any other movies that you want me to describe, definitely let me know in the comments below as well as any movies that are coming out soon or movies that you'd like us to review. We do those series here on the channel too. If you'd like to see more videos about just movies in general, or if you'd like to see more videos like this, again, in the comments let me know, but you can also press that like and subscribe button for more content like it in the future. Also, if you are a fan of gaming, we have a Gaming Sessions channel where we do similar content, doing either gameplays, breakdowns, also like coming soon videos about new releases that are coming up, and just game reviews. And also we're definitely looking to get some there were suggestions for that channel, because we always are looking for new content ideas. So definitely, again, check that channel out and let us know. And besides that, you can follow us on Twitter and Instagram. That'll pop up during the outro. And my co-host and brother Jason has a TikTok channel where he posts to regularly, and he's trying to get to 1,000 followers so he can get live streaming. So trying to get back on that goal, as well as a couple of our other goals. And again, thank you guys so much for all the support lately on the channel. It's been so mind-boggling to see the views and everything on all the videos that we're posting. So I'm glad that you guys have liked our pivot over to movie content. And without further ado, I will see you all in the next smoking session.
Place out of my head to the depths of the universe. It's a spell or a chance just to open up a newer curve.